Hey guys, welcome back to my channel KBRX. So I'll be starting TCS previous year question series from today. So the first problem statement that I would like to start with is the question that has been asked in the year 2022, and that is a Howry culture had several great persons since time immemorial and King Vikramaditya Navaratnas. So this is a story. I would like to simply tell you that this Vikramaditya was having Navaratnas. Okay, 9 members, 9 gems, and in them there was Varahamahira and also Amarasimha was another gem. And Amarasimha, whoever was there, he wanted to know the final position of person who starts from 0,0. So by looking at this, you may wonder that what is a 0,0? There may be always only one zero. Oh, why is it 0,0? So let us see the first of all, what's his scheme of where the person reaches is his total question that came into his mind. So he wants to know that where he reaches at the end. Let us see. The person, whoever is there, he first turns and travels 10 units of distance. Okay. So wherever he is in the position, he turns and he travels 10 units. Then his second turn is upwards to 20 units. And turn is 30 units. Okay. And fourth is to downward, that is 40 units. The fifth is to right, that is this 50 units. So this is quite confusing for us. You may think that what actually you want to know. So let us check the test cases and the input format and expected output format of the question. And also over here, input 3 is here, output expected is minus 20, 20. Even till here, you may not get idea that what actually is going on in this question unless you see the diagram of this. So the main thing over here is why is this given right now? So when you go back to his scheme, what he says is he first turns and travels a unit of distance. He first turns and travels a unit of 10 units of distance. So let us think that he is in this position. He travels 10 units of distance, that is 10, and the y-axis will be 0. Then the next is his second turn is there. His second turn is upward for how much? For 20 units. So if you check upon the condition like for 20 units, that too upwards. Upwards means it's usually y-axis. He's going upwards. That means he's going the way of y-axis. So you give the value as 20 units is going y-axis. So you give the value as 20. That is x comma y. Next, third turn is to left for 30 units. So what he's saying, he's having the third turn, and that is to left for 30 units. So if you just genuinely see that, how much is the distance from here to here? It's 10 units. And from here to here, you just have to like think normally like 10 and again 10. Because if you see here to the left, you'll be having 20 units, whereas the left part will always be negative in the graph. So you take it as minus 20. Whereas 110 is covered over here, minus 20 is covered over here. Totally, it is 30. Okay, so likewise, this y doesn't change because it is in the same axis or upward direction. Then later on, the next case that has been given is fourth turn is there, and that fourth turn is downward for 40 units. So how much is the fourth turn? It is downwards for 40 units. So let us see how much is it, 40 units. As it is downwards, you're going through the way of y-axis. Okay, you're coming down. You're not going horizontal way. You're coming in the vertical way. So if you check on the condition, you're having what? 20 is already there. Now what is the next another 20 units you want to complete now for 40? So if you just normally think with some sense, so this is 20 and this part will be 20. Then done. 40. You did not think about whether it is positive or whether it's negative. You just have to think with the aspect of upward vertical and downward vertical values and assign those vertical values accordingly. Right. Next, again, after that, you're having the fifth term. And what is the fifth term? It is to the right for 50 units. So you're having the right again for 50 units. So you go for this, you want 50 units. How can you obtain the 50 units? As it is horizontal, till here you have covered minus 20. The remaining you want is 30. Okay. So to x-axis, 30 is covered. Y-axis is not changed. And then this whole cycle continues again and again. from where he started, like from right, he took 10, then he went upwards, he then went left, like kind of case. This whole cycles run again and again. Now we need to code this. So the code language that I have chosen is Python. So let us see how this will work, how we can design a algorithm, or how we can like design a logic for this question. So the logic that we can build over here is the test case. Generally what is given, input is set, and that is in the format of int. So you just have to take the input, that is n is equals to int of input, because usually it is an integer number, so you take it as int. Then so you're taking a variable that is c, you're just assigning simply r. R means you just imagine that it is a right, okay, and distance 10. So I want to add a one more point is, here he has mentioned some important point. Thus he travels every time, increasing the travel distance by 10 units. So what's the major point that he's telling over here means, every time whatever he travels, he increases 10. So look over here, you're having 10, you're having 20, you're having 30, you're having 40 and 50. Like here, every time it's increasing by 10, 10, 10. So your cycle also runs from 10, 10, 10. You just have to keep that in your mind. So you will assign the standard distance value, that is 10 in the code. So initially the x and y coordinate values is how much? 0, 0. Then you go on to the looping statement. So what is the looping statement that we have right now is, for I in range of n is set. So you check with the condition. If c is equals to r, like you are going in the horizontal, that too in the right direction. So you take it as whatever x coordinate is set, to that you add the distance value. What initially is the distance value you are having? 10. So what is the initial value or x coordinate having? 0. So 0 plus 10, how much? 10. So you will store the value into the x, that is it is 10. Right? You traveled it, right? So you'll store it. Next, here you are having the another case, like now you have to go upward. You're having C and then you have to go for upward. Like your next step is that you must be prepared for the next step, right? You just have to do the one thing, that is whatever distance that you're having right now, to move upward, you must have to add plus 10. Like we know that for every distance, we're adding plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. Like that, you just have to add distance plus 10. Now, what is the initial distance that you have traveled? 10. 10 plus 10, how much? 20, right? So you will store the 20 value into this. And what is the question when you move upward? What is the scheme that he's telling? When you move upward, it's 20. So you have stored the value of 20 right now beforehand, like before. Next, you go into the condition, like if it is not C is equals to R, if it is like C is equals to U. So you just have to go with, as it is going upward, you're going vertical, that too in the positive y-axis. So you just take what? Y is equals to y plus distance. So y is equals to y plus distance is added. So it will be what? 20. So what is the value of distance right now? It is 20. So you're adding that to that y-axis or y coordinate. Then beforehand you have to check whether if C is equals to left side. Left side. Always remember, left side will be negative case. So when you're having the negative case, even though you're having negative case, always remember the one major thing that they have mentioned is your distance should always be increased by 10, even if it is to the negative side or even if it is to the positive x-axis, right? With that aspect, you're again adding plus 10 to your distance, and you take the else if condition, like C is equals to L. Now, as your C is to L, you are having x is equals to x minus distance. As it is to like this direction, like negative aspect direction, this time what you're doing, instead of adding your x coordinate, you're subtracting the x coordinate. Now you're having x is how much? 10. 10 minus distance. How much is your distance that you wanted is 30. So 10 minus 30 is minus 20, right? So you have updated that value into the x coordinate. Done with the 30 units, you have traveled it. Okay, mathematically your logic is also working right now. Then you have to check for the another case that you're going downward. Downward means negative vertical axis, but you have to store the distance exactly, that is distance is equal to distance plus 10. Now what was the initial distance? It was 30. Then you are becoming to 40. 30 plus 10, how much? 40. Then as it is as you're going to downward, C is equals to D is taken, right? and that too it is in the negative direction. So you just simply take it as y is equals to y minus distance, and with that you are storing the value of y coordinate. Like let us see in this, you are having minus 20 and 20. 20 minus distance 40, right? So your y value is 20 and your distance value is 40. It becomes minus 20, and that minus 20 is stored where? It is stored over here itself. Then you're having the other case, that is else if case is set. And what is the else if case? C is equals to A. What is that A means? The other case of scheme, that is if the turn is to the right, right? You're going to the right side. If you're going to the right side, what your value should be? Like from this part, you go to this part, it will be some positive value. So you just have the another case like x is equals to x plus distance and c is equals to r is the next case because it is right again mentioned over there. And in this way, using this for loop, your logic works in again and again. For example, you have given in beforehand that if it comes to again right, again if comes to right, you comes to this loop, that c is equals to r, x is equals to x plus distance kind of case. So these all calculation works and works. So let us see how does it works when you execute the particular code. Okay, so this is already written. Let us run once again. So this time I want to give coordinate or input like, let us see, 4. Yeah. So what is the fourth thing? At fourth case, what are you having? At fourth case, you're having minus 20 comma 20. Yes, it's working because your cycle, whatever that you have given, is perfectly working. Your algorithm is perfectly working. That's it, guys. If you do like this code, or if you do want me to do more series on the TCS question, do hit the like button and comment your views and of how I can, of what type of question I should bring regarding dynamic programming or regarding data structures, or next after TCS, should I go for next MNC previous year questions or anything else? Do comment your views. Thank you.